Good morning from Disney's Epcot Center. We are here today because we wanted to try some allergy-friendly foods at the Flower and Garden Festival. Did want to note though, it is going to be an extremely busy day because it is still spring break. Reservations have been very hard to get recently. Was only able to get one for today. As you guys can see from the clip that you're seeing right now, it was a very long line to get in just to the ticket booth to get into the parking lot. So it took me 20 minutes from when I first got in line to actually get a parking spot. Quite a long wait just to go into the parking lot. So like I said, we're here today to try allergy-friendly foods at the Flower and Garden Festival. We're gonna try gluten-free, dairy-free, and nut-free. We're gonna see if we can find those three things through around the festival. Another thing that I wanted to point out is I'm standing in front of a new Leave a Legacy wall. We have a whole video where we showed off the other Leave a Legacy wall, which is actually on the other side of the entrance plaza. This is off to the right when you first walked in. The other one that we showed was off to the left when you first walked in. To give you all an idea, these are the ticket booths here, and the Leave a Legacy walls are just behind me. Over here is guest services, and like I said, Leave a Legacy here. These are the newest panels that I've seen go up. And it kind of looks like they're going to be adding more kind of around the corner over here. First place we want to stop when we first walk in is here at the Festival Passport booth because I want to pick up a new passport and have a look and see if they have any notations for allergies inside of here on the menus. So as we are coming up to the fountain, we're noticing a lot of people without their masks on because Disney has made a new rule that you are now allowed to take your masks off while taking photographs. And so we're seeing a lot of people doing that here at Epcot. And here's an example of a photo from Disney's PhotoPass photographers of me not wearing a mask for the photo. Oh, there's a crow inside of the fountain. He's drinking the water, flying away. Another thing that I just noticed is that over here underneath Spaceship Earth, they have construction walls out now. This area was open the last time that we were here, but now it seems like they're doing a little bit of construction underneath Spaceship Earth. We can kind of see some holes up there in Spaceship Earth where they're going to be adding in sparkle lights all around Spaceship Earth. That's part of the 50th anniversary celebration. You can kind of see the difference where these pieces meet versus where these meet. That's definitely a hole where they're going to be putting in a light. Or maybe they're all holes where they're going to be putting in lights and they just weren't noticeable before, but they are. Like this one's a very roundy hole, but some of the other ones not as roundy. So I'm guessing they're going to be putting lights at each of these intersections. Wow. They've done a lot of work around here drilling holes. Another thing that should be noted is that the entire building over here that used to house Innoventions is gone. So we can see all the way over to the Imagination Pavilion over there and to Living with the Land right here. All right, inside of the passport, we have a festival cuisine key. So if we look on the menus, we can see that if it has a G next to it, it is gluten, wheat friendly. And if it has little leaves next to it, it is plant-based. It says, disclaimer, made without animal meat, dairy, eggs, or honey. So if we see that little plant, it should be vegan, right? But it does have a little note here at the bottom that says you may consult with a chef or a special diet trained cast member before placing your order, but there might be some cross-contamination because they are small kitchens and all the food is prepared in these outdoor kitchens, or they may have been cross-contaminated or made in facilities that have nuts or other allergens in them. So if you have a severe allergy, I don't know that I would try to eat some of these things at the Flower and Garden Festival, but we will try to see what we can find that is labeled as allergy friendly or that they tell us is allergy friendly. There's a thing, oh, there's a beetle on me. Look at this. This beetle just landed on me. Huh. All right, well, welcome to the world, little beetle. One thing that I found in the passport here is that there's something here called Growing the Future. I'm trying to remember if that's the thing that we saw the last time that we were here over by the Test Track bathrooms. He's going up my shirt. Oh my goodness. All right, let me get this beetle out of my shirt. There he goes. Bye, beetle. All right, well, that was fun. So I'm pretty sure that this is the thing that we saw over by the Test Track bathrooms the last time that we were here, but in the passport, it doesn't say where it's at, which is interesting because all the other ones say where they are. Like here, the Goodness Garden Butterfly House is in Future World West near the land, so it's right there. But this one just doesn't say where it's at. So we're gonna go try to find that. Oh, over here by Journey into Imagination, there's some banners that say Growing the Future, which is what we were looking for, but I don't really see anything else there. Let's go find out. It says Growing the Future, presented by Umrata Inventor and Electronics, featuring science from scientists. Presentation times 12, 1, 2, 3:30, 4:30, and 5:30. So some cast members told me that it's going to be a presentation where they're going to talk about photosynthesis or soil or both, and they said you get a free gift at the end. And it's only about 10 to 12 minutes long. So I think we're gonna wait around and we'll watch this presentation and see what it's all about. Also, some of the horticulture team is here doing some work on these topiaries. So they're switching out the flowers for the season, depending on what the season is. So right now they're into the second flower set for the season, depending on what is happening in the environment around us here in Florida.
We are Science from Scientists, a national nonprofit organization dedicated to bringing real and exciting science to folks just like you.
Today, we're going to learn more about plants, what makes them grow, and the technology farmers and agriculturalists use to grow plants smarter and more efficiently. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants and some other organisms create or synthesize their own food using three major ingredients. Hey, Madison, can you tell everybody what those three ingredients are?
Ooh, sugar, spice, and everything nice?
Not exactly. During photosynthesis, green plants use light energy from the sun to create chemical energy from carbon dioxide and water. This chemical energy can be stored as food for the plant to use later as it grows, or this energy can be used by consumers of the plant, like us.
Right, photosynthesis is how a plant synthesizes its own food and energy. And wait, doesn't photosynthesis also produce the oxygen we breathe?
It does. Nice work.
Well, that was an interesting presentation. Towards the end, it sort of felt like a little bit of a sales pitch for Mirada, which is really strange because that's not really consumer products. It was more along the lines of like commercial farming products. But it was still fun to see and to like learn a little bit about photosynthesis. And then at the end, they give us a Growing the Future take-home activity kit. So this will be fun, like science experiment-y type stuff to do with Jackson. All right, so this is pretty cool. They gave us some pencils, a little field journal, some beans, and a little piece of a plant here. And they gave us two experiments. The first one is to draw the plant here, the pressed plant sample, and then answer these questions about it. And then the next thing to do is a germination, and that has to do with these seeds where you put them in a plastic bag and try to grow your little beans, which should be pretty fun. As I was walking through the park, I noticed that there are some workers over here working on the old Mouse Gear location, and it was announced that they are opening a new flagship merchandise location here at Epcot called the Creation Shop. And I don't know if that will be here where the old Mouse Gear was or where the new Mouse Gear is. I believe that they said the Mouse Gear where it's at currently is a temporary spot, so I'm thinking it probably will be here, but we will definitely be back to take a look and see if we can figure that out as construction continues. Here's something that I thought was really interesting. So every year we have this quilt work flower display here at Epcot, and Disney has an extensive horticulture department, but this particular area here says special thanks to Brightview Landscape Maintenance for their participation in the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival. So I'm wondering if every year Brightview participates or just this year because of COVID. Like maybe the horticulture department is not as extensive as it used to be. All right, now it's time to get to the food. Our first stop here is at the Flavorful Kitchen. And we've tried these grilled baby vegetables before, but you can see they have a lot of the notations that say they're gluten-free and they are meat-free or vegan. And it's on the Garden Graze, and that's when we did it last, was on the Garden Graze. But something else that I noticed that was really interesting is that they still have the Disney Dining Plan logo on these. Even though Disney Dining Plan is not a thing currently, maybe they were thinking it would come back before the end of the festival. This is what I got. This is the grilled baby vegetables, and this was $4.75, and it is gluten-free and meat-free, but they did say that there was tree nuts in it, and I'm assuming that's in the hummus. So if you have a nut allergy, I do not believe that you can eat this. Maybe you can ask for it without the hummus, but they didn't tell me where the tree nuts were. So let's give it a try. It looks a little bit better than the last time that we tried it. I still don't know what these little green things are. I can see a carrot, zucchini, tomato, and then what are these two green things? And of course an eggplant in the back. I'm still not, like I said, I don't know what these green things are. Oh yeah, that's way better. So last time we had it, it was kind of cold. It was the end of the night. Now it's nice and warm. Feels like it's just fresh grilled. This is good. Put a little bit of hummus on there. This is very delicious now. This time I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, highly recommend. Next stop, we've got the Honey Bistro, and we can see on the menu here, we've got one gluten-free item, the Tupelo honey and sweet corn spoon bread, Last time that we had this, it was pretty greasy. Still tasted good, but a little bit greasy. We're gonna try it again. It's $4.75, served with jalapenos, bacon, and house-made whipped honey butter. And this is gluten-free. It is not dairy-free. They didn't tell me if it was not dairy-free because of the butter or because there's dairy inside of the cake. So I'm just assuming that it's not dairy-free, even if you get rid of the butter. Another thing they told me is that this and the flatbread on the menu at the Honey Bistro are both nut-free. So if you have a nut allergy, you should be able to get this. But as with all of these, you should double check when you're here. Talk to the chef or talk to an allergy trained cast member to be sure. I would always double check everything. Oh, just as I was getting ready to eat my spoon bread, I heard the music come on and the princesses are making their way around World Showcase. Like we've got Belle, Princess Aurora, and Jasmine and Snow White. All right, let's see how this spoon bread is this time. Not like a real greasy flavor, it's a very buttery flavor. I do wish the bacon was cooked a little bit more. Like it's a very floppy looking bacon. It is good though. It's like a buttery cornbread. Side note, I totally forgot that there was jalapeno in it. This doesn't taste like jalapenos at all. And I did also want to mention there is bacon inside of it too, so I don't think there's a way to make this vegetarian or meat-free because the bacon is cooked into the actual bread. And that feels kind of funny to say. This is bread, but it's gluten-free. It's cornbread. It's like a spoon cornbread. Yeah, if you're gluten-free, I do highly recommend this. It's good. Like we've said before, always come back and try the dishes again because last time we were here, I didn't really like that spoon bread and I didn't really like the grilled vegetables. So far, I've liked those both on this trip. I don't know if it's because when we tried those before, it was kind of getting later in the evening, and this time it was right as soon as we got here, right when the park opened. It's like 1 right now, so I think that it's prime time for buying food here at the Flower and Garden Festival. While we're standing over here, I did want to point out that all of the barges for Harmonious are out. There are 4 of these little barges here, and then the one center one right there in the center. And I did want to point out, you can see we are lined up right now with the America Pavilion. We're kind of off center. So I'm kind of just behind this speaker here, whereas the center line would be over there somewhere. Yeah, so if you're looking for the perfect spot to watch it, right here behind this gift shop, right near torch number 18. Right there. I'm not gonna be getting it on this trip, but it is worth noting that a Dole Whip here is vegan. So if you're looking for a vegan treat, Dole Whip is something you can do. $5.25 here at the Pineapple Promenade. It is also worth noting that over here at the Citrus Blossom, there is nothing that is gluten-free or vegan. So you wouldn't be able to get anything at this booth at all, if those are something that you're interested in. But this citrus braised crispy pork belly sounds real good. Another trip. So an often overlooked part of the festivals here is the refreshment port, which is just next to Canada. This year they have a popsicle trio. It's a nice gluten-free dessert option. It's honeydew, raspberry mint, and coconut lime. I'm gonna get them. Eat dessert in the middle of the day. So this is my popsicle trio, and I did ask, this does have dairy in it and it does have coconut. So if you're allergic to coconuts as part of a nut allergy, you would not be able to get this, but it is gluten-free. And this was $5. Oh, hey Pluto, how's it going? And Goofy, and there's Mickey and Minnie. Hi Minnie. So I'm thinking that it is honeydew, raspberry mint, and coconut lime. And it didn't ever say what the little like powder is underneath, but it does look, or what the powder is on top. But this does look very good and nice and refreshing for a hot day like today. Let's dig in. Just a side note, I found a nice little spot over here in the Canada Pavilion, the waterfall going, and a nice shady spot to sit. So I'm hoping that waterfall is not too annoying here. All right, let's try the honeydew one first. I'm gonna dip it in whatever this little powder is on the bottom. That's very good, very creamy. So this is the lime. This is coconut lime. I was way off, right? I thought the lime would be green, but it's not. So this one was the coconut lime. This is very good, very refreshing for a hot day like today. It is 81 degrees outside right now in the shade. I still don't know what the pink stuff is underneath. It's good though, it's like a shortbread almost, like ground up cookies. The next one will be raspberry mint. Not getting a lot of mint flavor out of it, getting a lot of raspberry flavor out of it. Still very good, very creamy. This is great. I've said this in the past, I have a hard time eating cold items now. And this isn't affecting me. It's not giving me a brain freeze or anything like that. This is great. All right, last one is honeydew, which now that I'm thinking about it, looks like the color of honeydew. oh, this one's not as creamy, it's more of like an ice flavor to it. Tastes kind of like they just kind of froze honeydew. So this one I think is my least favorite out of the three. I think my favorite one was that coconut lime one. That one was really good. Now that I've had some of this pink powder underneath, kind of tastes like a matcha when you're eating it with this honeydew one, because the honeydew one's less creamy. Kind of like a mix between crumbled shortbread and matcha. It was a very good dessert, nice and light and refreshing for a hot day like this. As I was passing by Disney Traders, they have an A-frame sign outside that's advertising Spike's Pollination Exploration, which is a scavenger hunt that we've talked about many times, but the last time we were here was closer to Easter and they had an Easter egg hunt too that is no longer available. And of course, here at Trowel and Trellis, which is hosted by Impossible, which is a meat substitute, lots and lots of vegan options. So the street corn is vegan, and it has a savory garlic spread similar to butter, but it's not butter. It's also gluten-free. The Impossible sausage and kale soup is vegan. The Korean short rib is vegan, and the lavender pot de creme is vegan as well. So a full order of vegan stuff. But we're gonna skip this particular booth during this video. We're actually gonna head over to Mexico, right there. Over here at Jardín de Fiesta, we're gonna try the Taco Vampiro, which is gluten-free, but not vegan, and the Sopa de Chorizo, which is gluten-free and vegan, because it's made with plant-based ground chorizo. So both of these items are gluten-free. However, this Taco Vampiro is not vegan because it is braised beef on a corn tortilla with crispy grilled Monterey Jack cheese and salsa ranchera, and this was $7.25. But the Sopa de Chorizo is vegan because it's a plant-based ground chorizo on fried corn dough with black beans and avocado mousse for $6.75. And they told me that both of these are nut-free. They fry this in a soybean oil rather than a peanut oil. So it is nut-free. You don't have to worry about it. But like I said, I would always double check. Let's try this plant-based chorizo first. This smells so good. The fried corn dough that it's in, this little like pockety looking thing, this little like pie that it's in, smells so darn delicious. I thought I'd be able to cut this with my fork. I got a spoon too, or a knife too, so that I can cut it, and I have to use it. So the fried corn dough is a little bit hard to cut, so I think I would recommend just kind of picking this up and eating it rather than trying to cut it apart. It's got some black beans in there too. Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, it's a little spicy. Got a little kick to it at the end there. The only difference between like full meat chorizo and this one is that the texture is a little bit off, but the flavor is the same. It almost has like a sweet aftertaste at the end there. Like a sweet and spicy mix though. Wow, this is very tasty. I really like the corn, the fried corn dough that it's in. The chorizo is good. It's like, the black bean is, there's not very much black bean. I don't know if you guys can see it, but kind of like right here at the edge, that's where the black bean is. It's kind of like right there, just around the edge of it. It's good. I'm glad that I tried this because this isn't something that I would normally have tried, but it's good. Almost, okay, so the sweet is kind of reminiscent of, you know how when you eat something sweet, sometimes it makes your mouth pucker a little bit or your mouth water, almost like you're eating something sour? So I think there's a lime flavoring on this, and the lime is kind of tricking my mouth into thinking that there's something sweet on there when there isn't. This is delicious. I like this a lot. I actually, the next time that I come, I think I'm gonna order this again. All right, so the vampire taco comes with a little bit of street corn on the side. All right, let's try this vampire taco. Fried or like burnt cheese is one of my favorite things. Yes, that is awesome. If you like burnt cheese or fried cheese, get this. Like if that's on your flavor palette, 100% get this. This is so good. So it's got braised beef inside of it that is marinated to perfection. The cheese on the outside is what really makes this like a nice dark fried cheese on the outside. Oh, it's so good. So I'm not really a corn guy though, but that taco came with a side of corn, like kind of side of street corn, but it wasn't on the cob. It was just kind of like the kernels in there. But it had like a white cheddar in it, so it tasted like white cheddar popcorn. It was so good. Everything that I got from that booth was amazing, and I'm going to order it again the next time that we come here, and I wish Jen was here so that she could try these things. The braised beef in the taco was a little teeny tiny bit spicy, but so good. Both dishes that I got here, I can't stress enough how good they were. So good. These might be my favorite things that I've had so far. Okay, so I am thoroughly satisfied as far as my hunger level. That was 4 items and a dessert, and just to put that into perspective, we didn't even make it anywhere around World Showcase. We literally just came down from Future World, entered into World Showcase here, and went to 4 booths and had plenty of food. Everything that we ate today was gluten-free. A lot of it was nut-free, and a lot of it was also dairy-free and vegan. So I think that Disney is doing a fantastic job of accommodating allergies at the food festivals. We got a lot of food today, and I feel good about it. So now I'm gonna head up to the front of the park. I'm gonna kind of look over by Mouse Gear, see if there's any signs for the new creation shop. This is a fantastic trip out to Flower and Garden. We still haven't eaten everything. That was the plan, is by the end of this festival, we're going to have tried everything at this festival. We got a ways to go. Still a lot more to eat and more to try. So we will definitely be back. Oh, as we're walking up to the front, we can see the purple martins are out on their nests. How neat is that? They have these purple martin houses here because they help control the bug population around Epcot here. Also, there's a sign over here that tells a little bit more about purple martins. They are migratory songbirds in the swallow family. And we've actually gone to a tour where we learned a little bit more about the purple martins. We'll put a link to that video in the description down below. So I'm kind of over here by Test Track, which is behind me. This is the old Mouse Gear, and I feel like these windows here are old windows, but the ones next to them I think are new. So I believe that this probably will be where the creations shop will be. Also, there's some new colors on the outside. Very interesting. And these 2 holes here could be cut for hanging a sign. And they said that it's going to be opening later this summer, so I don't think they would be building an entire new building. I'm assuming they're just going to use this building right here. So I'm over here where the breezeway was, where Electric Umbrella was on the right, Mouse Gear was on the left, and you see they're definitely doing some work back here. And this is where the current Mouse Gear location is, and this will be closing down when the creation shop opens up. I'm assuming over here. Looking over here at Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, still no solar panels on the roof, but they have closed in the front of the building. I wonder when they're going to put the solar panels back up, or if they will. It kind of looks like they're going to. I don't see why they wouldn't, and I'm hoping that they do. So right before we leave, I did want to point out here on Spaceship Earth, I showed you when we first walked in how they were drilling holes for all the lights. But here on the backside, we can see they have installed some lights here, and these are going to be like sparkle lights all over Spaceship Earth that will turn on at night and sparkle. So there you have it. That was our trip to Epcot for the Flower and Garden Festival, eating allergy-friendly foods. Had a lot of gluten-free foods, had a lot of vegan foods, had a lot of nut-free foods. They were all delicious. I especially like the vampire taco and the vegan chorizo sopa. Definitely recommend giving those a try. Even if you don't have a gluten allergy or want to stay vegan or anything like that, those 2 were fantastic. All in all, I'm very excited to come back and eat more food and try more dishes because there's still a lot we haven't gotten to. So with that being said, we are off. We'll see you all tomorrow. And now it's time to pay the price.